Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I've never done this before because this is like the first time that with my YouTube channel I've been in like the scope of doing it, and I'm really excited because we're going to just be talking about books, which is what we do on this channel, but you know, more, which is always good. So let's just get into this tag. The first question is, what is your favourite book that you've read this year? And mine definitely would have to be I'm Thunder by Mohammed Khan. This book was like something I just picked up on a whim, and I'm so glad I did because honestly I absolutely loved it. It's about this girl who's facing like this moral dilemma with herself and trying to find out where she fits in within her religion. Being a Muslim girl is really hard because it clashes with her, what she hears people say her religion is about, and like her own cultural beliefs and her own religious beliefs, and they're all just like one big thing that's mixing up and causing her a lot of confusion. And it's just, then she meets this guy and he starts to like teach her other things, and she's like trying to find out where she fits in, and that's basically the whole book. And I really loved it because I think I read it at a time when I needed the book, and it really helped me, and it really was so like, I had so many emotions in it. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me smile, it made me frown, it made me do everything, and it's just perfect book. And it's something I've never really seen anyone else read, so for me it was like, why is no one talking about this? People need to talk about this. It's such a good book and it's so important at the time we live in. That's why I loved it. The second question is, what is your favourite sequel that you've read this year? I haven't read many, so I was like, I really had to think about this one. But then when it came to me, I was like, oh my god, how could I not have thought this straight away? And that would be Legendary, which is a sequel to Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And I absolutely adored this sequel. I think I may have even liked it better than the first one, which like honestly doesn't happen often. And it's just that thing where I loved the characters in the first bit and I loved it being carried on. And the only thing I had a problem with was the fact that it was told by Donatella's perspective, and I didn't really like Donatella, so it was like, ugh. But it was still the story playing out, and it still had the characters I love, like Julian, Scarlet, I feel like that's her name, and all the rest of them. And it was that world. I think that's the world is what makes that book. The whole like Carvel, the whole like game aspect of it is what really makes it the book it is, I feel like. The third question is, what is a release that you're excited to get to that's come out but you haven't got to? That was really badly explained by me, but I think you get the gist. And the one I'm excited for is Finale, which is the third book in the Caraval series. And as you can probably see, I really like that series. And I'm really excited just to see where it ends. And I just hope there's nothing that's like too like hard hitting, because I don't think I'm emotionally ready for any of those characters to have anything bad happen to them. I just want a happy ending, but I know I'm not going to get a happy ending, and I know that if I did get a happy ending, I still won't be satisfied. So it's kind of like, I don't want a bad ending, but I don't want a good ending. I don't want it to end. It's just a lot of emotions, but I'm excited, and I'm ready to go on another roller coaster ride, because honestly, this is what this series has been. Like, there's just like twists and turns, and things are always happening, which obviously is what makes a good book. So yeah, the fourth question is your most anticipated release for the rest of the year. So this one I had to really think for, but I think it's Swipe Right for Murder. And this book, honestly, the cover was what drew me at first. I was like, but then like when I read the synopsis, I was even more intrigued to read it. Like, it talks about how it's basically using social media to find out who committed a crime, and like I love my mystery novels. I love my mystery books so much, and I read so many of them. This year I haven't read as many as I had last year, but we're on, we still have a long time left, hopefully. And I just feel like putting the 21st century to use, that makes sense, in that kind of thing is really going to make for an interesting plot. And honestly, it also looks like a recipe for some crazy things to go down. And isn't that why we read? To see crazy things go down? Yeah, so the next question is your biggest disappointment this year. For me, that would have to be Dumpling. I actually have a review of that on my channel, which you guys can go and watch. But this book, wow, honestly, I've never disliked a book so much, I don't think, in my life. Other than like one other book. I don't want to get into this because I could get into this again and it would be a long video, but just overall, like, there's one thing that happened that just made me really mad. But I get the concept, and that's what like first drew me in. I was like, this is a good concept, but I just think the way it was told just wasn't for me. And I understand why people like it, of course, but it just really let me down, and it didn't give me the high that it gave everyone else, which is kind of sad, but what can you do? But on that note, the next question is a lot more positive, and that's what your biggest surprise was. And for me, that was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This book, I was honestly went into it not really expecting to like it, which I guess is not the right mindset to go into anything, but I just read it because, you know, it was the hype. You follow the hype. You get on that boat and you ride with the hype. But it was surprisingly really good, and it's not something I would normally ever read, but I'm glad I tried something out of my comfort zone and I didn't just stick with what I know and what I would want to read, if that makes sense. And this book is just, I kind of liked being in a different world from like, normally when I read I'm in the world we live in, that kind of atmosphere, but this is more magical, and that's kind of nice sometimes to just get out into something different. And our next question is, what was your favourite author that you discovered this year, or favourite author that debuted this year, that kind of thing? And for me, I'd have to say it was Alice Oseman when I read Radio Silence, because the way she wrote was genuinely just beautiful. Like, it just had something in, and you could tell that she was writing to push a message across, and it wasn't just like writing to write, if that makes sense. And I kind of appreciate that, and I like that. So it definitely was my favourite author of this year, and I really do hope to read more of her work in the future. The next question is my newest favourite character, and it'd have to be Julian from Caraval. I don't know if you guys can guess yet, I'm kind of obsessed with that book, but he's just amazing, like genuinely just amazing, and he really just, I feel like held the story together. I'm not gonna lie to anyone, people may think I'm talking absolute rubbish, but for me he held the story together. It was like, this is the story and this is Julian holding it all together. He's just like so sweet, and I feel like he's misunderstood, and I get that, and I really just want people to, like, I trust him, and I really just hope he doesn't break that trust, because it will break me in two if he breaks that trust, like, but I just can't wait to read Finale, as I said earlier. The next is a book that has made me cry, and this is also a book that I talked about earlier, and that's I Am Thunder, and it made me cry, I think, more than once. And I remember I had it on ebook, and I was reading it, and like, I was on the bus and I could feel tears, and I was like, you know, Aisha, you can't cry on the bus, you can't cry on the bus. And it just was amazing. And like, honestly, there's a scene that genuinely, it broke me in two, and I was like, you know when you're like at that point when you're like yelling at the book, you're like, no, you can't let that happen, no. Like, it was one of those moments, and I honestly advise everyone to read it. Like, it's so great. Even if it doesn't seem like your cup of tea, just like pick it up anyway, and it should be great. And then the complete opposite of that is a book that made me happy, and for this I chose The Woman Who Walked in Sunshine. I can't speak English. The Woman That Walked in Sunshine by Alexander McCall. And he's honestly an amazing author in my opinion. He writes the #1 Lady Detectives agency books, and they are just books whenever I'm sad, like I can read and I just feel so overly happy. Like the whole thing is just a feel good kind of experience, and it's very like funny, and I feel it's very light and it just makes you feel good in general. And that's always what I feel like you need sometimes from time to time, especially to get you out of a slump, or if you're just, life is just really getting you down. You just need a book that can just like push through and be like, see the sun. You got what I did there, because it's called In Sunshine. You see the sun and it's just, you suddenly just feel like, I can take on the world, like there's nothing stopping me, let me just go, go, go. And that's kind of sometimes what you need throughout the year. Another one is The Most Beautiful Book That You Owned. For this one I found it really hard because I don't really buy books, so any book that had a beautiful cover, it's probably like gone back to the library or was on my phone or something like that. But I did choose one in the end, and I chose Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Ellen Hagen. And this book, I just think it's so pretty. The colour scheme is what I love. Like this purple and this blue and then the yellow and the white. I think white text on anything just is really pretty because it kind of like contrasts the whole thing. I have no idea what I'm talking about though, because I'm no artist and I'm no creative designer or anything like that. But, and also I love the way they had the purple kind of like match with the jacket, and then the red colour here match with like the hair and the shirt, the trousers there. And yeah, I think it's really pretty. And I also love even here when they did this, like the things that match the colour scheme too. I just think it's really pretty in general. And I know people may agree because sometimes people don't like drawing of characters on, but I do. I find it quite pretty and really aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, and the question is, what books do you want to read for the rest of the year? This could be like a long list that just carried on and on and on and on and on, but probably my like top thing is the Lunar Chronicles series, because honestly I've heard so much about it and like people keep making reference to it and I just don't understand, and I've never read it. So that's like definitely up there, and there's so many others that I can't even think of right now. But honestly I just feel like everything on my TBR I want to get to, but like I know I can't in this one year because it's way too long to fit. But you know what, we're gonna try our best, and I hope all you guys are having a great reading year, and if not, you still have time to turn it all around. And yeah, so if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any answers to these questions, or if you have any recommendations for me to read, because I'm always looking for more, even though I have already loads. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!